Conspiracies are important to understand because they're predictable. There's what we call an anatomy to the conspiracy. Think of 9/11 and the 9/11 conspiracies. 9/11 really happened. JFK assassination. JFK was assassinated. Like, these are real things that actually happened. That's the start of a conspiracy. And then immediately after the true event, there is a lack of information. The problem is that when it comes to conspiracies, you can't just take the thorn out. You don't know what actually happened in certain details. We don't know who actually shot JFK. We don't know what made the different towers fall on 9/11. There's some secrets that we're not allowed to know. When the whole world already knows you have an effective secret intelligence service, they already don't trust you. You have secrets. You know how to keep your secrets. Therefore, you must be keeping secrets from me.
Can we talk about some conspiracies? I don't know where it's going to go, but I'm curious to just bring the conversation because I know if I'm a conspiracy lover, other people are as well.
Absolutely.
So down the whole line of, so there's been, especially growing up in Australia, right? So I don't know what it's really like here. Like I said, I'd like to stay quite objective with things, but because Australians, we stay quite, we've never had threats really. I mean, like I think Darwin got bombed like the top of Australia back in, I think, World War II. Apart from that, like we just get left alone. We surf and we hang out and we go to the bar. And so when we look at and we hear about, all the conspiracies, like there's things like the JFK assassination, and then there's the thing of going, well, the CIA did it. Can we start with that? Like, and I don't know if you're allowed to talk about it or I don't know what, but I'd like to just sort of hear your perspective on that whole conversation, because if you talk to the conspiracy theorists, they're like, the CIA did it.
So two things that are important for this conversation. First is understanding that Australian culture as it relates to the society's view of the government is very different than the American culture of how society views the government. So for example, everybody knows that CIA is America's secret intelligence service. Very few people know that Australia even has.
I had no idea.
A secret intelligence service, let alone a very effective secret intelligence service, right? So right there, you got two major cultural differences. So when your whole society already knows you have an effective secret intelligence service, they already don't trust you. That's like the first thing. You have secrets. You know how to keep your secrets. Therefore, you must be keeping secrets from me. That's the logical way of thinking. So every American forever has always been like, the government has secrets they're keeping from me because they're so good at it. In Australia, guess what? The government has secrets they're keeping from you because they're so good at it. The difference is you don't even fucking know that they're that good at keeping secrets, right? It's a big difference that helps you understand why conspiracies are rampant in the United States and not so rampant in Australia.
Do you think they have any of ground to believe the things they believe?
Absolutely. And conspiracies are important to understand because they're predictable. There's what we call an anatomy to the conspiracy. Conspiracies all start because something factual happened, right? So think of 9/11 and the 9/11 conspiracies. 9/11 really happened. JFK assassination. JFK was assassinated. Like, these are real things that actually happened. That's the start of a conspiracy. And then immediately after the true event, there is a lack of information. So there has to be a real event and then a lack of information. The third step is something that we call speculation. Now, speculation and suspicion are cousins of each other. Suspicion is healthy, right? It's good to be suspicious. It's good to question. Like, there's such a thing as healthy suspicion. But speculation is a very different thing. Speculation is when you start to assume that you know what the answer is to the question that you don't know. Well, immediately on the back end of speculation, somebody creates a story that closes the open loop so that there's a convenient explanation for why this real event happened that you're not allowed to know, that you don't really trust, and then here's a convenient explanation, a story.
It probably help people be able to, because there's like a bit of cognitive dissonance that happens, right? Some crazy thing like 9/11, like the fuck, and then jumping to the first thing that happens that, I don't know, people are interesting.
Yeah. And people don't like cognitive dissonance.
Yes.
Cognitive dissonance is like having a thorn in your sock. You don't like it, so you want to fix it.
Yeah.
Right? The problem is that when it comes to conspiracies, you can't just take the thorn out. Like, you don't know what actually happened in certain details. We don't know who actually shot JFK. We don't know what made the different towers fall on 9/11. Like, there's some secrets that we're not allowed to know. Well, then we start leaping to these conclusions like, oh, it was an inside job, or oh, it was CIA, or oh, it was whatever, because these are secret organizations and just they can't be trusted because they keep secrets. Well, guess what? You keep secrets too.
Yeah.
Right? We all live in this strange world where somehow we expect that we're allowed to keep our secrets, but it's unreasonable that other people keep their secrets too. So we should have all secrets shared with us, but we're allowed to keep our secrets to ourselves. Otherwise, we suspect the other person. It's totally irrational.